What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, I had to go ahead and put together a build from the past in which I'm calling today the 2K19 shot creating slasher build. Now, for those of y'all who do remember back in the day, if you made a shot creating slasher at the height of anywhere from 6'3 to 6'7, very overpowered build, figured it out later in the year, but I'm telling y'all, this is one of the best that you can make at the height of 6'3 in NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now with this build today, it's going to be reminding me of Damian Lillard, and we'll get a 99 plus when it comes towards our driving dunk, mid-range shot, ball handle, speed with ball, and stamina. Now we'll also get all of the elite contact dunks with all of the pro dribble moves. Now with that being said, we'll get a total of 48 badges, and like I mentioned, this really does remind me of that shot creating slasher back in the day. Now this is really an offensive threat also, and the defense is just enough to be effective with a high rebounding stat. Now I'm going to go ahead and nickname this build the DEMI dog, because this is really one of the best that you can make at the point guard position, and this build really got that dog in it. Now I'm telling y'all, the mid-range is what's really going to make this build tough to stop. So before we get any further, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So the first thing that we're doing today is leaving this build under the point guard position. Let's go ahead and leave the height at 6'3", and then bring the weight all the way up to 225 pounds. Now for that wingspan, we're going to max this out to 7 feet, and this is going to make a huge difference on that defensive side. So let's go ahead and get into the actual breakdown of these attributes. So as you can see, when it comes to our physicals, the first area that I want to go after is going to be the speed. Put this all the way up to an 86. Now with the Gatorade facility workouts, this is going to be a 90. Coming into the acceleration, this will be a 75. Moving into the strength, this is going to be brought up to a 49. And then as for when it comes to our actual vertical, let's go with an 82, being brought up to an 86 with a 96 stamina, and that will give us a 99 plus when it comes to completing our workouts. Now you're really in store for a sweet build when it comes to the attributes, more so for the offensive end, but the defense we can definitely hold our own. So the first area that I'm going to get into is going to be the finishing. Go ahead and put that close shot all the way up to a 59. Moving into the actual driving layup, let's go ahead and put this up to a 77. This is going to allow us to get some of those upgraded layup packages. And then for that driving dunk, put this all the way up to a 94. Now right there, that's going to give us those elite contact dunks. And this also is going to give you a lot of great badges that I promise to get into once we max this build out. So as for the shooting, let's go ahead and put our midi all the way up to an 89. Moving into the three-pointer, I like this best at an 80. And then for the free throw, put this to a 73. And free points on the bronze tier and this rating is more than enough, especially when you take into account buying boost. Now moving into the playmaking, let's go with the pass accuracy of a 69. Moving into the ball handle, I'm going to go with a 92. And then for that speed with ball, I like this best at a 90. Now this sets you apart from most builds. We did take a minor hit towards the pass accuracy, but it makes up for it because we do get all of the dribble animations as well as a high speed with ball. Now activating your takeover and buying boost is going to make a huge difference for this area. Now let's wrap everything up with the defensive end. Now I think this is what's going to make it a catfish and very special. So for the interior, let's go with a rating of a 70. Moving into the perimeter, I'm going to go with a 75. And for the rest of the attributes, I decided to put it into the defensive rebound. And this is going to get brought up all the way to a 74. Now as you can see, this build, once you activate your takeover, buy boost, and possibly wear gear, The better we play throughout each game, 2K will give us a minor boost. I think this is evenly one of the best builds that you can make at the point guard position. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Is there anything that you would change to make it better? Honestly, if you have a lockdown on your team or any type of defensive big man that can shoot, I think you can run 2K with this build in any game mode and setting. So let's start with the badges. So as you can see, my favorites are going to be Gold Giant Slayer. We also get Pro Touch and Silver Whistle. Now for the finishing, look at all of these badges for a rating of a 77. Gold Giant Slayer, Hall of Fame Slithery, Silver Acrobat, then we get Bunny, Float Game Pro Touch, Scooper. All of these badges I think are super special, making this build very overpowered. Also get Aerial Wizards, Spin Cycle, Two Step, and then for the Driving Dunk we get Gold Posterizer. Precision Dunker, really one of my favorite builds that I have brought to y'all. Now when it comes to the shooting, look, we get Gold Blinders, Silver Deadeye, Catch and Shoot, Green Machine, Guard Up, Space Crater, everything and more that you can want, and we also get MIDI Magician. Then from there, when it comes to the three-pointer, I like Agent 3 and Blinders. You also get Gold Catch and Shoot. Space Crater will make a huge difference today. And then moving into the actual pass accuracy, we still get Special Delivery with Bronze Break Starter and Relay Passer. Now for the ball handle, I do like Blow By on the bronze tier at least, Silver Killer Combos and Triple Strike. But then we get gold handles for days, Speed Booster, Unpluckable, and Ankle Breaker. Really one of the best builds that I've brought to y'all in a while, and it really does remind me of Damian Lillard on a few different levels. Now for the speed with the ball, Hyperdrive and Speed Booster are the main badges, and then for that defensive end, we get Bronze Workhorse. Also going to be able to attain badges like Clamps, Ankle Braces, Challenger, Fast Feet, Pick Dodger, as well as Silver Off-Ball Pass with Bronze Rebound Chaser. Now you're really going to be able to snag over other point guards, especially considering the rating that we have and the badge. Now look, if there's anything that you would possibly do to make this build a little better, let me know down below in the comments. I really want your input, but the main thing that I would take into account, look at the versatility that we get out of being a two-way player. You get all of the contact dunks, the dribble animations, a deadly shooter from anywhere at any time with some very solid defensive stats, and the physicals I think for a point guard are very overpowered. Now take that into account with your Gatorade facility workouts. Bind boost your takeover, wearing gear. You're in store for one of the best that you can make. Now let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made this build correctly. Now we should be getting these three different comparisons, and as y'all can see, Damian Lillard being number 1, we have created the 2K19 shot creating slasher coming out to a shot creating 3-level threat. Now I want to know, what do you think of this build name as well as what we can do? Add everything up of what I previously mentioned when it comes to boosts, and you're in store for one of the most rare and unique builds to make this year on Next Gen. Now I want to say thank y'all so much for the support. God bless every single one of you. And before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from. And I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.